Sometimes, magic doesn't arrive with a bang. It sneaks in quietly with the first breath of cold air, the scent of pine, and that soft golden light that suddenly transforms everything. You think it's just December, just decorations, garlands, candles. But this year, it's different. This Christmas will be quieter, yet deeper. More beautiful than ever before. You'll see how light comes alive inside the walls, how a single tree becomes the heart of an entire world. You'll learn why the smallest gesture can make a house feel alive and warm again. And most of all, you'll feel how Christmas 2026 brings back something we've all been missing, the feeling of being truly present. Don't look away. The real magic is yet to come. There's a moment when the home seems to pause between the past and what's yet to come. The evening hasn't fallen, but the light already shifts softer, warmer, as if the air itself knows something special is about to begin. This is the feeling of Christmas 2026, not loud or dazzling, but quiet and intimate. A celebration that turns inward, toward warmth, attention, and the kind of light that lives within. The first spark flickers on the branch, and time slows down. The space fills with a gentle glow, and ordinary things suddenly feel alive. The table becomes a gathering place, the old chair a corner of peace, the candlelight a rhythm of calm. Even the walls seem to breathe differently, absorbing every shimmer of light. Christmas 2026 brings a new kind of beauty, a calm minimalism touched by nostalgia. The colors don't shout, they whisper. Cream, soft gold, deep pine, and warm silver form a palette of comfort and serenity. It's not about display, but about feeling. About the quiet harmony that doesn't need words. Everything here is built around light, not bright, but living. It flows across surfaces, reflects in eyes, and brings back faith in simple joys. And somewhere within that glow, the Christmas tree appears, still bare, still waiting, yet already full of promise. Its shape alone tells a story. The magic is about to begin. It stands in silence, like a guardian of time. Its branches are still untouched by light, yet already full of promise. The tree, the heart of the celebration, the anchor of the home. Each year it changes, yet somehow remains the same, connecting what was with what is. In 2026, the Christmas tree is no longer just decor. It's a reflection of the home's inner rhythm, a mirror of how we feel the season itself. There's no need for excess sparkle. The pine speaks for itself, its texture, its scent, the way it catches the light. The ornaments don't need to match. What matters now is story. One carries a faint scratch from years past. Another is new, chosen simply because its color felt warm. Together they create not perfection, but memory. The trend of 2026 is warm simplicity. No cold glitter, only matte ornaments, velvet ribbons, bows made of natural fabric. The light is soft, candle-like, almost breathing. Each branch seems to hold its own small world of glow. The tree no longer hides in a corner. It's part of the room's conversation, mirrored in glass, echoing the fireplace lights, shimmering quietly in the window pane. Its glow makes the space alive. And if you pause for a moment beside it, you can almost hear the air itself ringing softly. The fire doesn't flare up at once. First, a faint crackle, a thin line of light, then the flame slowly unfolds, as if the house itself is breathing through it. This light is different. It doesn't just illuminate, it connects. Everything seems to lean toward it, the garland on the shelf, the wreath on the wall, the soft blanket draped over the chair. Here, warmth isn't a temperature, it's a feeling. In 2026, the fireplace is no longer just decor, it's the core of calm. Even if it's electric, the meaning stays the same, not about heat, but about harmony. Around it gather colors of depth, pine green, bronze, soft white, and touches of amber light. On the mantel, fir branches lined with tiny bulbs, golden nuts, dried oranges, and ribbons tied perfectly yet effortlessly. Wreaths and garlands aren't decorations anymore, they're lines of light. They trace doors, walls, and staircases, carrying the glow through the home like a gentle current. This year they're fuller, more natural, real branches, fewer plastics, hints of dried herbs and cotton buds, making the season feel rooted in the earth itself. The fire's glow reflects softly on glass, shimmers on the floor, dances across ornaments. It thickens the air, turning it tangible. You could almost reach out and touch that warmth not with your hands, but with something deeper. And when all these lights breathe together, the room becomes the living heart of the home. The table waits, as if it already knows the voices that will soon surround it. It isn't just furniture, it's a stage where tradition comes to life. In 2026, the Christmas dinner shifts from a show of abundance to a ritual of quiet, light, and taste, every detail chosen with care. A white linen cloth with soft folds, warm ceramic plates, glass that catches candlelight, everything feels intentional, yet nothing forced. The focus is on natural beauty. No shiny sets or sterile perfection, just matte dishes, uneven handmade edges, cutlery with a hint of aged bronze. Across the center runs a garland of fir and rosemary, twined with tiny lights. There's no chaos, but no rigid symmetry either. The table feels like it simply grew from the evening itself. The palette is soft and earthy, sand, smoke gray, cream, and honey tones. Candles of different heights stand at the center, not for display but for warmth. Their reflections flicker in the glasses until time itself seems to pause, transparent and still. The Christmas table this year isn't about display, it's about presence. About glances meeting across the candles, the quiet sound of laughter, the rustle of linen as a dish is passed. Together, these small things form not a scene, but a feeling, the reason the lights were lit in the first place. The house begins to speak in one voice. The glow from the fireplace flows toward the staircase, glints off a doorknob, and slides softly across the walls. Every detail connects to the next, as if the space itself breathes in rhythm. In 2026, Christmas decor shifts toward continuity, not decorating corners in isolation, but creating a flow of light and form where one element blends naturally into another. Staircases become lines of movement, wrapped in garlands of real pine and fabric ribbons. The lights don't just shine, they guide the eye, drawing it upward toward brightness. Doors carry simple wreaths, a bit of fur, linen, dried orange slices, a tiny bell that rings with every touch. These gestures speak of care, not perfection, the warmth of a home shaped by hands that love it. The key word of 2026 is organic harmony. Light, shadow, texture, all connected. When the house glows, it feels like music. Every garland a note, every doorway a pause, every step a bridge between rhythms. The light comes not from above, but from within, from the fire, from candles, from branches glimmering with tiny bulbs. And as you walk through, the house feels quietly alive. It's as if someone has just been here, lit the fire, straightened the ribbon, left behind the scent of pine. Even when the lights fade, the warmth lingers. It seeps into the walls, turning silence itself into the heartbeat of home. As the lights grow softer and the air denser, the house begins to breathe slower. Light no longer decorates, it lives. It settles on the walls, drifts across the floor, shimmers in glass, as if telling its own quiet story. In 2026, Christmas lighting stopped being background decor and became the main instrument of mood, the language of silence. Candles burn not in straight lines, but in rhythm, one closer, one further, one just aside, creating a pulse of light. Tiny bulbs hide among garlands like stars lost in branches. They don't compete with the fire, they continue it. The glow moves through the house, as if someone traced every surface with a gentle hand. This light doesn't dazzle, it soothes. It reveals textures, wood, fabric, glass, and makes them feel alive. Even shadows here aren't darkness, but part of the pattern, breathing and deep. In this half-light, the world sheds the unnecessary. Only warmth remains. Calm, presence. And the silence isn't empty. It's filled with life, the crackle of fire, the whisper of pine, a faint sound from another room. Everything connects without words. Maybe this is when Christmas becomes real, not a holiday, but a state of being. When the light lives inside and silence becomes part of its glow. Sometimes the real magic of Christmas isn't in the grand display, but in the quietest corners. Where the old chair stands, a book rests by the window, and a single candle flickers. In 2026, Decor stopped being about scale. It became personal space, a reflection of mood and identity. It's not about how much room you have. It's about creating a place where you want to breathe slower. Small areas take on meaning. On a side table, a tiny tree in a ceramic pot, a cup of steaming tea, a delicate garland like morning dew. On the shelf, a few keepsakes, each with its own story. The trend this year is personalized warmth. Decorations aren't chosen for style, but for memory, something that recalls childhood, something that feels like family, something that simply makes you smile. Textiles take the lead, soft throws, pillows with gentle patterns, blankets that look already loved. These pieces don't fill space, they give it presence. Even when you're alone, the home feels alive, a quiet companion that listens. This is the new philosophy of 2026. Coziness isn't measured by how much you decorate, but by how deeply you care. A small corner can hold more warmth than an entire hall. In it, light breathes softly and silence feels kind. Outside, snow begins to fall, and for a moment, the whole world seems to listen with you. Sometimes the boundaries of the home dissolve, the celebration steps outside. The air is cold, fragile, and the light feels warmer for it. In 2026, Christmas decor no longer stops at the door. Balconies, porches, gardens, they all become an extension of the home, as if the house itself unfolds outward. The same glow, the same materials, the same quiet warmth, only now beneath the open sky. Garlands of pine wrap around the railings, tied with soft ribbons. Lanterns stand by the door, each holding a trembling flame. A wooden crate filled with cones and cotton rests near the wall, its scent mingling with the crisp air. Even a forgotten cup on the windowsill becomes part of the scene, nothing staged, everything alive. The palette stays gentle, but against the snow it shines brighter. Warm gold glows softly, the green of the branches looks deeper. This contrast, cold air, warm light, defines the Christmas spirit of 2026. It makes the home feel alive both inside and out. When the lights on the facade come to life, their reflections dance across the windows, and it feels as if the house itself is smiling. There are no walls, only one continuous space where air and light, cold and warmth, past and present meet in a single breath. And in that meeting, the essence of Christmas is born, the quiet certainty that the world is still kind. Night falls softly. The lights no longer shine, they breathe. Everything that was lit and arranged no longer asks for attention. The celebration has found its quiet balance. Yet in this stillness lies its power. The glow on the tree is no longer for the eyes, it's for the heart. Christmas 2026 has grown quieter, but deeper. It doesn't shout joy, it whispers warmth. That whisper fills every corner, the crackle of the fire, the reflection of light in a glass, the lingering scent of pine. Everything seems to say, stay a little longer. Because it's here, in the dim calm and the silver snow outside, that true emotion appears, not excitement, but peaceful gratitude. This isn't an ending, but a continuation. The light that remains after Christmas isn't in garlands or candles, it's in people. In their voices, in the morning silence, in the way hands pour tea as if performing a quiet ritual. That light doesn't fade because it doesn't live outside. It lives within us. And perhaps that's why Christmas returns every year, not as a holiday, but as a gentle reminder. Outside, the snow keeps falling, slower and softer. The last reflections shimmer in the windows. And even after the music ends, the house holds that glow, as memory, as breath, as the quiet light that never truly fades. Thank you for being part of this warm Christmas story. If this journey into light and comfort inspired you, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Tell us what Christmas 2026 means to you. Your words are part of the light we create together.